Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. Today I'm talking about your silence says this to your ex. Okay, so when you are going in no contact, when you have walked away from an ex, the great thing about this silent period, right, where you're no longer communicating with your ex, what this really shows to your ex and which may actually attract them back to you is that you are now strong, right? You are now emotionally stronger because you're no longer giving in. Because it might be the case that, when you first broke up with each other, you were still in communication with them. Like you couldn't help yourself. You had to message them. You had to reach out to them in hopes that they would change their mind about you, right? Perhaps that's what was going on with you, right? Or something similar. And you just couldn't help it. You had to reach out to them. Or perhaps you even did no contact for a while and then you broke it, right? And then you ruined it for yourself. But when you go into silence, right, and you really do it and you really do commit to it, and you're like, okay, right, I'm going to do no contact. I'm going to act like no contact is forever, and I'm going to move on with my life, and I'm going to progress, and I'm going to start thriving in life. I'm going to start reaching for my goals, and start creating a better life for myself. I'm no longer going to allow myself to feel miserable and crappy about myself. I'm going to do some things for myself for a change. I'm going to make myself feel good, and create a better life for myself and help make my life come true, my dreams come true and all those things, right? And you really are trying with those things, and you've kind of moved on from perhaps romance and relationships for a little bit so you can work on yourself and do your own thing for a while, and you're really focusing on that, and you're really fully committing to not communicating with your ex and walking away completely. What this says to your ex, like I've said already, is that it shows that you are now emotionally strong, okay? And because you're no longer chasing them, it may attract them back. Because what you got to realize about exes, right, and I say this all the time, especially if you got dumped, right, is either, when you go into no contact, either they're going to feel the loss of you and they're going to get scared and fear losing you and come back because they're like, oh no, they haven't messaged me, they haven't spoken to me in a month. Perhaps I've lost them, perhaps they're gone for good. I don't want that, so I'm going to reach out to them, right? Either that's going to happen, right, you're going to get them back, or they're not going to come back and you're going to find someone better, right? Which is why I don't suggest that you wait by the phone hoping that they're going to reach out to you, or you're crossing off the days like, okay, now I'm in 20 days of no contact, right? You don't want to be looking at the calendar and seeing how many days have gone by. You don't want to be wasting your time like that. When you commit to doing no contact and walking away from an ex, you really have to commit fully and realize that, you know what? This could be it. This could be the end of this relationship, because I'm going to commit fully to no contact and basically find out how this person really feels about me, because that's one of the best things about no contact and walking away from someone, right? You really do see where you stand, because once you've walked away, you've gone into no contact, your ex will then feel the loss of you and they will do something about it if they still love you and care about you. So that's how you know. And if you never hear from them again, then you know that they really did want to move on from you. And there was nothing you could have done either way. Because if they don't fear losing you when you don't reach out to them anymore, right, then you don't want them in your life. Because if someone that loves you and cares about you will try and reach out to you, they will try and do something, okay? They will try and make things work with you, okay? Sorry, that's my baby crying in the background. Don't worry, she's not on her own. She's with my wife. So that's really, really important, okay? It's really important to know that, and to know that the no contact is the best way you can find out how someone feels about you, okay? So if it's been like a few months down the line and you haven't heard from your ex, it's probably likely that they're not going to reach out to you, okay? So another thing that your silence says to your ex, right, is that you're no longer going to tolerate being treated in that way, right? Because if you've been putting in the effort, if you've been, trying to make things work with them and they haven't been allowing it, basically, they're still like, no, I'm not interested in being with you, etc., etc., then you walking away shows your strength, shows that you now have self-respect. Because sometimes when someone breaks up with you, it can feel really, really, really bad, obviously, right? Especially if you didn't want the breakup to happen, and you can do some stupid things, right? You can write them a big long love letter, which really doesn't help the situation. You could reach out to them loads. You could reach out to their family and friends, trying to resolve things. And it can make you look very, very weak and needy, like someone who has low self-esteem, low self-respect. But when you walk away, that shows self-respect, because you are then deciding that I'm not going to be in a relationship where I'm not treated the way I want to be treated. Right? I don't. If this person doesn't want me in their life, then I'm not going to try and force myself to be in their life. Right? I want to go where I am wanted. I want to go where I am desired, appreciated, needed. Right? This person, if they've done me, clearly doesn't love me, doesn't appreciate me, doesn't want me. Right? It's no longer attracted to me. I'm not going to try and be with that person if that's how they feel, because I deserve better. I deserve to be with someone who does, and I'm not going to try and force myself into that person's life. Right, so when you walk away, you're showing that you've now regained your self-respect, right? And because you're now displaying that self-respect, that, that devil may care sort of, maybe like, I don't know, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore, right? And you're showing that strength. Sometimes that can reattract your ex. Sometimes they're like, oh, wow, they're really, getting strong. They're really having that emotional self-control. They've really developed that respect for themselves, like they're not going to tolerate this anymore. And sometimes that strength, that display of strength, can attract them back and make that you appear more attractive in their eyes, because you're now displaying a more attractive trait. You're not being needy or insecure trying to get them back. You're focusing on yourself. You're like, fine, if you don't want to be with me, that's okay with me. I'm going to go and live my life. I'm going to go and find someone who does want me, who does love me, because I'm not going to stay with someone who doesn't want me. Why would I do that? Why would I try and be with someone who doesn't want me? That's ridiculous, right? So that's a really important thing that you can develop within yourself. That inner strength of like walking away, going into no contact, and committing to it completely 100%. Okay, and that will really, really benefit you, and that will really help you. Okay, and that's basically the message that walking away, that going into no contact will send to your ex, that you now respect yourself. Okay, and that's very, very important. And it's very important to keep that, right? And even if it doesn't work out with your ex, even if they don't come back, at least you've now developed that self-respect, and maybe that will spread into other areas, right? Because let's say you don't get much respect at your job. Right, this is an example I use a lot as well. If you're not respected at your job or appreciated at your job, then you can go to your boss and say, look, I've got another job lined up that's a lot more better for me. So I'm going to leave. And if that boss values you, if that company values you, they will negotiate with you. They'll say, okay, no, I'm sorry, basically. And they'll be like, how about we give you an extra couple of grand a year, and maybe that'll be enough for you to stay. Or maybe the new job is so better that you would really like to be in that new job. But make sure if you do something like that, you do actually have another job lined up. It's not a good idea to be unemployed. But but if you use it in this area, it can spread into other areas too. It can be the same with friendships as well, right? If you've got friends that you feel like you're always putting in the effort, but they never do, so you walk away, and then they change their mind about you. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to excuse me. Please go to www.christineloveridge.com. And I shall talk to you again very soon. I'm sorry for the coughing and for the coughing. Thank you so much. Goodbye, guys.